And welcome back. We're picking up where we left off last time in the Long Dark, where we are in the abandoned depot and then transfer pass.
I would drink almost anything about now.
I think we're about ready. Well, assuming the weather is going to play along, and the weather might not be playing along from a warmth standpoint. To try to find a
Pack is
way
getting kind of
to
heavy.
the airfield. Some minor knickknacks in the car. Okay, not quite sure where the road is. Go over. Oh, interesting. It's lit up this place. Alright, I think we have some lighting glitches going on, but that's fine. Spend a moment warming up. Can I map from in here? No, of course not. Well, it's also nighttime, so that's probably contributing. Okay, so the place I'm going to, at least the place I think I'm going to, should be as simple as following the right road. So it might just be that way, following that road. Okay, so that's a full elevator, I think. Double coal in there and it gets run across, okay. This might not be the smartest idea, but exploring. Because it's an interesting thing to see. Order box. Surprisingly warm looking area for an area that isn't warm. Some scrap metal that we don't need. We'll probably forget about when we come back here. Is this, can we go both ways? Hopefully we can go both ways. Doesn't require jumping out. Oh. There's a door. Okay, requires a jump out, but it's not as bad as the jumping on the other side. Okay. Thank you, Depot. We'll take a moment to warm up, and then we'll go over up that road that we found a little while ago. I think that's the road. One more hour of condition, or one more hour of fatigue back. We're a little overweight, but I think that's
I might have to drop some
fuel.
gear.
Yeah, looted a bit too much fuel. I suppose let's prep the barge park for when we need it. so I think this is the road, so we're going to follow the road. Hopefully this is the right road. I know the correct road will occasionally have the odd sign saying it's going towards the airfield, so if we find some signage, and it's the right signage, we know we're going the right way. Now there's some signage. Field 31, that way. Langston Mine, that way. Scribbly, 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 that way. Okay. Well, this is the way to the airfield. We're almost certainly going to have to stop to warm up at some point. But I suppose we're also going to have to stop to make some water at some point. So, multitask when we do that stop. We're a little out of sync with the weather due to the having to sprint through the blizzard. So I didn't have to sprint through the blizzard, taking damage instead, but I did sprinting. Nothing in the visor, nothing in the visor. Nothing in the box. No battery. Okay, there's the transfer.
Too much stuff to carry.
So now in the greater Forsaken Airfield area. Memory serves from the little bit of spoilers that I do have from watching other people play. There is a place where you can sort of billy goat down to save a bunch of walking.
Need to find some place to escape this
Sort
cold.
of cutting the half circle, whatever it is, off, showing the distance. We're not going to do that because, well, I'd rather not take the damage associated with billy goating down something that I'm not experienced with. And if you're not experienced with billy goating down something, it's often a situation where you can get pretty badly injured if you do it wrong. I'm supposed to be following a road, and this is very wet for a road, so I think I've already lost the path.
Cold.
We'll find out in a moment. This looks like it's back on the road again. Like we walked over into a road. Maybe it was the road went around a river, and the landslide covered the road. Yeah, looks like we still are on the road. We'll stop in a moment to warm up. Because we are taking condition damage, but at the same time, we're not too worried about taking a little bit. You gotta... Every day you're gonna recover a certain amount of condition from the proverbial fatigue recovery, so... as long as you're covering, or as long as you take less than you are expected to recover, then everything's fine. So at least this portion of secondary Airfield is not too hard to not get lost in. I know there's parts of Forsaken Airfield that are sort of designed to be easy to get lost in, especially in adverse weather. This is at least not one of them. I don't necessarily appreciate how green everything is right now. Makes me almost worried that we're about having a wreck. So yeah, in theory, I think there's ways to really go down from here to save some distance. I don't know the safe way to Billy go down, and obviously saving Billy going the wrong way down is gonna break everything and anything. So we're gonna follow the road because we know the road is safe. You know, here's an interesting place. We'll warm up here, or I keep walking too far. We'll use this as an opportunity to make some water. And if the weather actually improves enough, we'll do a little bit of mapping. We got some charcoal.
Come on.
Make me a liter of water and a liter of water. And we'll set the bedroll down, sleep in the bedroll for an hour.
Something's gotta go.
Not quite dawn is what the game's telling me. I think we can see the airfield from here. Yeah, we can see the airfield from here, so that's where we're going. How long it's going to take to get there is an entirely different problem. Because we're fairly high up and obviously need to lose a little bit of altitude before we get over there. See if we can get it to be officially dusk so we can map. There we go. Yeah, so there's the turn. The airfield's out that way. Bit annoying that the wind has picked up in the meantime, but we'll see if we can take the fire with us and how far we can take the fire with us. That far. Well, we slightly warmed up. It's not a shortcut. Doesn't look like a shortcut. Yeah. So we'll see how much, how long our warmth stays around. The wind is apparently quite strong. Either that or it's just really cold morning. Or both. We've got pretty good gear, which on Interloper is kind of what you need. Because we'd be even colder. We'd probably already be cold if we didn't have the gear on at this point. Probably like doubling the amount of time we're staying warm. Take a little bit of sprinting, because I feel like we're going to take a lot of damage if we don't get a move on to the next place we can warm up.
Goddamn freezing.
Got enough fuel on us, so it's just sort of finding a sheltered area to warm up in.
Looks like I made it through another night.
Which is one of the reasons I'm sort of skipping over the sticks along the way, is because it's just going to make us get to where we're going slower, which is kind of the opposite of what we want right now. Anyway, we've got a little bit of wind shelter here, and let's take the moment to warm up then. We're going to be doing a bunch of sprinting because of the low temperature, so I'm going to go ahead and make up a batch of rose hip pies. So I can use that to get fatigue
Fire's
back.
life out here.
You are going to get us warm, yes. Worried for a moment there. Go ahead and prepare my rosehip teas by quickly cooking them all. And then we'll eat our way back closer to higher fatigue. Yeah.
Too heavy.
We want one more rosehip pie. Yeah, let's disassemble the lower quality torch. We're gonna about pull a bunch of torches out of this fire, so. So the alternative is, do I have... Oh, one fire hardened arrow. Yeah, spend some time, make me some fire hardened arrows. Get another 8 torches out of here. It looks like the wind has calmed down, so we'll be able to juggle torches maybe for a while. Hopefully keep us warm. Warmer. Like, well, no, I was about to say, arguably it is warm, and then I remember, no, we're next to like a 30-degree fire. It's warm next to the 30-degree fire. It's not necessarily all that warm. Okay, off we go again. Following the road to the airfield. I suppose we've got plenty of fatigue, so I should spend the time sprinting before losing warmth that quickly. Oh, there's a place I can warm up. We'll pop inside, see if there's anything. Dang. Page from a journal. A battery. Bunch of coal here. We're gonna leave the coal here though, because we're already a little heavy. Can of food. Polaroid. Second airfield vista. Other end. Okay. Check out what's in here. Over here. It was a moment to warm up as well.
I wonder if I can drop any of this gear.
Simple tools, workbench, ruined granola bar. Okay, back to following the road. Again, based off of being so cold, we're gonna go ahead and sprint. We got calories to burn, we got fatigue to recover with rosehip pie. And I don't necessarily know how many great places we're gonna have to warm up. So, getting to the airfield before we take too much damage is kind of the priority right now. Can we sleep for a while at the airfield once we get there?
I'm gonna have to leave something behind.
Well, you're gonna leave this torch behind for one. That's an interesting divot that we're not going to go down right now.
My fingers feel numb. Wait. I'm so cold, I'm warming up again.
on the sign. Let's see what the sign says before I make a decision whether or not we want to hunker down to warm up again. Airfield. That way. Okay, not that way, but that way. Something is that way, but the airfield's this way. Okay, nothing in the truck. Truck's probably a good place to warm up though, so we'll warm up the truck.
Come on.
Minus 13. Okay, so we can get away with one vehicle in this fire. And then we will warm up birch bark tea. Drink the birch bark tea. And probably eat our pie. And while next to this nice warm fire, we'll do a short stint of mapping. So we just came. Apparently this winds all the way around to here. So yeah, the airfield's probably around here. Oh, wrong tab. Well, we got a nice warm fire outside. We're going to snooze for a quick hour to rapidly regain our warmth. We'll get a nice fire warming up the vehicle. It sounds almost like it's getting worse, which isn't great. Obviously, once we leave this fire, probably going to be cold enough that it's warranting sprinting again. Yep, this is sprinting weather. Okay, follow the road. It'll be less likely for us to get lost if a blizzard rolls in, or it'll probably take a shortcut here. We're cutting across. We're going to follow the road just to be safe. If the weather looks good, we might take the shortcut on the way back. Yeah, so we can see the rear field directly in front of us. Do torch swap. Okay, this is not much of an improvement because it's not a particularly great torch, but we're swapping to it. Okay, what we want, I think, is in
my feet.
that tower. So we'll go to the tower first. Let's spook off the wolf. Oh, we still got the torch. Okay, so it does go sour.
Never felt so cold in my life.
Like so. We just had the wind sour on us and take our torch away. So we've got a bunch of buildings out here to check. It's going to be a lot of loot here. Not particularly great loot necessarily, but a lot of it. Control tower.
Hope nobody needs this anymore.
Ruined peaches, cardboard boxes. We're not going to spend the time to break up the cardboard boxes. I did see the film, but we don't have a camera yet, so the film's a bit useless. I'm not going to take the time necessarily to search all the nooks and crannies. We're not going to go through all the filing cabinets, for example. There might be something in there that'll be useful, but it'll probably most likely be like candy bars and stuff, which we're not in desperate need of right now. So I think mainly what we're here for is to leave the radio, which I think is just going to be at the top of this tower. Field 31 operations memo. Update your saving maps with transmitter sites, Forland Muskeg, Pleasant Valley, and Milton. Expected to do annual maintenance. The wiring and the batteries seem particularly fragile, and we've had some trouble with fuses as well. Passing continues, but initial reports have picked up some signal interference and unusual transmission in the following locations: Bleak Inlet, Pleasant Valley, Summer Hush River Valley. Without the transmitters working, we'll have a hell of a time locating any transponder signals from crash planes or whatever. Okay. And we've picked up the rate. Track down the mysterious radio transmissions across Great Bear Island. J for info. So we've got a bunch of objectives. Repair the transmitter in Mountain Town, repair the transmitter in Pleasant Valley, repair the transmitter in Forland Muskeg, and repair the transmission tower outside Forsaken Airfield Control Tower. Okay. We're leaving. Can't stand the lights any longer. No sleep. Just no sleep. We're walking out of here. Okay. What is... That's a question. What is the button for bringing up the radio? Not the weapons, obviously. Campcraft, nope. Radio. Okay. Obviously don't need it out right now. Said we weren't going to check all of them, but let's go ahead and check the tiling cabinets while we're here. Looks like this is going to be one of the slightly longer episodes.
This stuff will come in handy.
While we look for a good place to put in that part break. I suspect when we step into the big building, I think that'll be a loading section, which is a good place to put a part break in.
Excellent.
Those are really good for drinking right after you take a long rest. Interesting. Self-closing doors. Battery if you need it. Transmission tower. Okay, so that's something we're going to have to repair. We're not going to repair it right this moment. I'm going to finish exploring the other buildings here first. Terminal location. Or camera film.
I think I can use this.
That might be an improvement over one of my pairs of pants. So we'll hold on to it for a moment. Flare shell is nice. We got a flare gun. There's a battery. You may need the battery. Don't need to close though. So let's position the battery near the door, like so. We'll drop some of the clothes I know we don't need. Don't need you. Don't need you. Go. The combat pants is not going to be better than what I've got because this is what I'm wearing. Okay. Don't need you. Granted, going through this clothes isn't a bad idea. Okay, so this is where you are. So we might get another trade set up when we trigger the Aurora.
What have we here?
We'll pick it up. Well, that's because we're just going to drop it somewhere. Respawn. Well, I think there might be something there, but we can't see it from here to loot. Candy bar. I know sometimes in those cash cans there'll be crackers just slightly hidden. Actually, one of those we're gonna get to it and crouch to... no. Was worth checking the luggage just in case the luggage had some like thermal underwear in it. Definitely make use of thermal underwear. And there's lots of little loot spots here that we can be checking. A lot of it doesn't... well, a lot of it on Interloper won't have anything, but I think there's like cargo containers on these as well. Right, so like hatches like that we can loot. We're not going to go through all of them, especially the ones outside. Might take a little bit more time to loot some of them if we recognize that we're missing something we need for the quest. Like we need wires or something to repair the transmitter.
This food.
Nice. Finger crackers. Pretty sure entering this big one here is going to give us a load screen. This is where I'm going to go ahead and put the part break in. So if you're watching on YouTube, there will be a part of tomorrow, because we're going to explore this hangar, and then probably go trigger the Aurora for the following night by trying to repair that radio tower.
I might have to drop some gear.
But yeah, this is where I'm going to go ahead and put the part break in. So if you're watching on YouTube, as I said, the moon part of tomorrow. If you're watching Twitch, feel free to hang around. We're going to take a short break where I stretch a little bit, and I'll be right back after that. So until then, wish you all the best of luck and a good time. Catch you all in the next part. Bye for now.